Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't act that. Today I kind of want to look back at like an old trend that people are still doing, but these are unpopular skincare opinions. Now these are usually a mix of unpopular skincare opinions and just facts that people don't like to admit are true. And I kind of became re-obsessed with them when I went back on TikTok and kind of saw that these are videos that people kind of redo every so often, usually with kind of more updated knowledge for themselves. But I also have some of my other Skinfluencer friends who I've not actually featured on this channel before. Their unpopular opinions, because these are people whose opinions I really trust as well. But then I also got a couple from TikTok to play after. Now, I haven't actually watched these videos yet because I want it to be a bit of a surprise. Let's start off with Sarah Palmyra. I think I'm saying her last name right. One of my favorite TikTok skincare influencers. And to be honest, one of the only skincare TikTokers that I genuinely watch. I don't know, I just find her content way more engaging than others, but it's also kind of like products I've never seen before. But she also regularly posts like tips and tricks, which some are quite like traditional, and it kind of like reminds you of them, like, oh my fucking god, yeah, I forgot about that. And some are things I've never heard before, so her content is super good. If you're not already watching it, you probably already are. All her socials and everyone else featured in today's video will be in the description box down below, but she sent me her unpopular opinion. I've not seen it yet, so I'm interested.
Probably that I don't always double cleanse. I know everyone loves a good double cleanse, but if my skin is feeling particularly dry or tight, then I just go in with an oil cleanser in the morning and then nothing else. And it may be against the rules, but my skin loves it and it makes me feel clean but not stripped.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. I definitely don't double cleanse in the morning. Double cleansing for me is strictly evening. I've reapplied sunscreen over and over and over. If I've honestly just applied it once because I popped out for a bit, I will do a single cleanse, and that's more than enough to get rid of like one layer of sunscreen. But if it's summer and I've used a shit ton of sunscreen, I have to double cleanse. And that's not because I always feel like it is the most effective way to remove stuff from your face, but I feel like it's the most gentle. You can use micellar water, you know, do like a single cleanse, but just do it for a really long time. But for me, a gentle but effective way to do that is just to like double cleanse with a cleansing oil. But I agree with Sarah when she said like sometimes I won't even use like a proper cleanse. Like sometimes I will just do a cleansing oil, then wipe that away with like a damp cloth, especially if my skin is feeling super dry. Like we're going into December. No, it is November. Oh, what day? Yeah, going into December, my skin's gonna start to feel tighter and tighter. So sometimes I'll just do a sweep of micellar water in the morning, and then just do a single cleanse at evening. I definitely don't wear sunscreen if the UV index isn't above 3 here in the UK. I just feel like there's no point. So yeah, I feel like the double cleanse is important for some people and in some cases, but it's not the only way to cleanse. And I feel like a lot of people are like, you must double cleanse. You don't have to. So thanks, Sarah, for sending that. Next up, we have Dr. Maxfield, who if you are on skincare TikTok, you know who he is. You already know who he is. But he's honestly one of the voices I trust most when it comes to skincare advice. I find that he is very good at treading the fine line between being a professional on TikTok and Instagram who's able to post short content whilst not misleading and not leaving out important information, if that makes sense. Because for me, I think that's one of the most difficult things about talking about skincare on TikTok is that you can't get in all the nuances and you're left answering more questions in the comments than your video could give. But I find Dr. Maxfield does it just right and is able to get the important information in while still being engaging, you know, kind of following the whole TikTok algorithm. So he actually sent me 2, which I haven't watched yet. Oh no, I've watched 1. So let's see what he has to say.
It's okay to go outside. Look, I just believe that a person is more than skin deep. And some people have interests, professions, or even other health factors where being an active person might be more important than having perfect skin. But with that being said, sun protection is the most important cornerstone of having healthy skin. But sun protection is not the same as complete sun avoidance.
Yes. Okay. So I 100% agree with this. How do I say this? I think we feel like sunscreen is like the be all and end all of life because we are into skincare. We kind of know the importance of wearing sunscreen, but that's not everyone's prerogative. That's not everyone's main interest. You know what I mean? And whilst I think it's important for dermatologists, skincare professionals to stress the importance of sunscreen because of skin cancer, I think a lot of influencers, whether it's skinfluencers like me or dermatologists on here, have kind of made sunscreen their whole personality. Like that's all there is to life, is protecting yourself from skin cancer and aging. And as I mentioned, skin cancer protection, so important. If you live an active lifestyle like Dr. Maxfield does, honestly, watching his Instagram stories makes me feel like I've done some exercise. You know, if you live an active, sporty, adventurous outside lifestyle, then yes, of course, it's important to wear sunscreen. But as I mentioned, there are people who almost feel like instill fear of going outside and just living a normal life without reapplying your sunscreen, blah, blah, blah. All these memes from brands like, good morning to only those who've applied their sunscreen. Have you reapplied your sunscreen every 2 hours? I mean, like, it's very, very intense, and it's, for a lot of people, a lot of average everyday people, they don't care. Like, not everyone cares about having nice skin. Not everyone cares about slowing down the signs of aging. Not everyone cares about fine lines and wrinkles or having nice even skin. A lot of people just want to know how to be healthy when they're outside in the sun. Safe when they're outside in the sun. So yeah, I think that's what he means. That's how personally I feel about these kind of things. I do feel like we're all so obsessed with sunscreen, rightfully so in some cases. Like, especially on TikTok, you see a lot of people purposely burning themselves, giving themselves tan-shaped burns, blistering. So I think dermatologists online like this stressing the importance of reapplying sunscreen in the sun is super important, but very different to being like, apply your sunscreen now. If you haven't, you're a fucking idiot. Apply it every 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff, I think is a very different situation. So yeah, completely agree with that. Let's see what else he has to say.
15 seconds is not enough to give people good information, which is actually why I love YouTube, because it's more about having long, informative discussions rather than giving a brief recommendation.
Oh my God. I feel like we've spoken about this, like, away from this video. This is like I said about Dr. Maxfield, actually, I find that he and Dr. Shah, they work together sometimes, are very good at kind of like treading that fine line between being a professional online but not giving enough information that it can lead to misinformation and fear mongering, which a lot of other dermatologists, estheticians do on TikTok, and it's terrifying. It's like, it's not enough information in 15 seconds to get all the nuance that is in skincare. Skin health in Dr. Maxfield's case as well. And I find that as a content creator, that when I'm reviewing a product, as I mentioned, I'm answering more questions in the comments than what my video can explain, because it's 15 seconds. It's 15 seconds. And people be like, you didn't mention this, you didn't mention that. It's because it's 15 seconds. Like, I can't say any more than 15 seconds. Dr. Shah and Dr. Maxfield have their Doctorly YouTube channel where they talk about everything from, I learned a lot about my rosacea from their channel, dry skin, scars, skin cycling, freckles, acne, dark spots. They talk about so much in such great detail over on their YouTube channel. Having been a skincare influencer for 5 years-ish now, maybe 6, oh my God, I've seen the skincare community kind of be like all about clean beauty, 5-minute crafts, hacks, skincare hacks, using lemon, blah, 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 blah. Myths busting, all these skincare myths that people thought were true, to dermatologists and scientists coming online and kind of myth busting and saying what's right and what's not, to then the rise of TikTok. And we're kind of back to the front again, where you have all these people making DIY skincare, making these like attention grabbing short videos that again are just raising all these questions and these lies. And like Dr. Maxfield said, it's not enough. You just don't have enough time to talk about all the nuances within a particular subject. And when it comes to skincare, there's so much. Nothing is a black and white answer. Nothing is a yes or no. Nothing is a use, do not use kind of situation. So I completely agree. One of my favorite skincare reviewers in particular, because she's amazing at reviewing skincare, is Tina Harris. Some of my favorite Japanese skincare reviews. For me, Japanese beauty can be very overwhelming, especially when you are physically in Japan and shopping. The packaging all looks very similar. They use different words to describe their products than they do in like Korea and over here in the UK and in America. So really having a good breakdown of what the Japanese products are and how they work and what they're used for really helps. And Tina Harris's channel is so good at that. So good. Easily one of my favorite product reviewers. So I had to ask for her unpopular opinion. So let's see what she had to say.
Hey James, so my unpopular opinion is that I am totally fine with popping pimples. I know people always say don't pop your pimples, but I swear I get less of a scar when I pop them versus not popping them. So if I see a head on my pimple, like, I'm gonna pop it.
Okay, so I don't disagree with her. I do not disagree. Of course, every expert is going to tell you to do not pick your spots. I even say it as well. I don't pick them because I do tend to end up with a very, very dark spot. But my issue is I will pick and I will pick and I will pick, I will pick and I will pick. Fine, get rid of a white head. But I can't stop there. I do not stop there. But like Tina said, if you get rid of a whitehead and then you can kind of put like a pimple patch over it, it usually heals absolutely fine. I will 100% get rid of a whitehead if I'm going out in public. If I'm not, I'll just leave it and put a little product over it and then like a pimple patch. But yeah, you know what? I feel like reapply sunscreen every 2 hours. Don't pick your spots. Don't touch your face. These are all things that I constantly preach that I don't honestly believe anyone really sticks to religiously. You know, I think we're lying if we say that we don't pick our spots sometimes. I think we all do. Sometimes I just look in the mirror and I have a good squeeze at my nose, especially when I'm in hotels. They have those mirrors. Well, everyone can have these mirrors, but you know, the one that magnify, they pull off from the mirrors and they have the nice lighting so you can see all your skin like around. And I'll just stand there and I'll be picking at my nose with like a pair of tweezers or something. It's so bad. But yeah, Tina, I think more of us do that than maybe should or we allude to doing. James Atkinson, one of my favorite content creators all round. He does a lot of like everything really when it comes to cosmetics and beauty and grooming. My favorite thing about James is he uses a lot of products that essentially I've never heard of again, and that's mainly because it's like UK based or US based stuff, and I enjoy his content. I find it very easy and nice to consume. It's always very visually appealing as well. He does nice quick routines, and they just got the cutest puppy as well, so there's dog content in there too. I actually met him for the very first time at Sephora. Such a funny guy. So yes, do head over and check out his content. Had to ask for his unpopular opinion, so let's see what he says.
Hello, James Welsh. My biggest skincare controversy, I don't know if you could call it a controversy anymore, but every time I talk about a product with these in, I always get told, you shouldn't be using that, don't be using that, it's not good for your skin. That is essential oils. I love an essential oil. My skin loves an essential oil. I know that certain ones can be sensitizing, but on a whole, my skin loves essential oils. When my skin used to be really bad with flare-ups, the brand that helped me get through that and helped me sort of get into skincare really was Liz Earle, famous for their use of essential oils. But I gotta tell you, my skin loves them, what can I say? Arrest me.
So listen, yes, like fragrance, some things can be very sensitizing, can potentially be sensitizing, including essential oils. But there are essential oils that I swear by for my skin, and actually, like James, helped me through some of my worst skin days. Tea tree oil, an essential oil, one of my favorite ingredients in skincare in general. Absolutely love it for my skin. Lavender oil is supposedly calming, soothing for the skin. I just don't like the smell. But if your skin can handle it, if your skin can take it, some of them do have skincare benefits. Some of them are in there just to smell nice. Like he said, Liz Earle, one of the longest reigning skincare brands of all time, contains essential oils, and it's one of the most popular brands because the results kind of show you why it's one of the most popular brands, because the results are always good. Tried, true, tested. People love it for a reason. This is like with everything in skincare. If your skin can tolerate it, if it doesn't bother your skin, if it has benefits for your skin, just fucking use it. Just use it. There are certain things like fragrance that people would cling on to, saying don't use fragrance because it made good content. People, you know, I feel like every influencer has to have their thing. You know, like my thing for a bit, I used to stick with niacinamide, be like, oh my god, niacinamide, I love it. And that used to be my thing for a while. I feel like influencers are known for a particular thing, and I feel like everybody wanted to kind of be like that fragrance-free influencer without really understanding the nuances, again, within fragrance. No, fragrance or essential oils isn't going to kill everyone. It's not going to rip your skin off. It's not going to damage your skin. As the comparison goes, it's like avoiding nuts just in case you get a nut allergy. People can go their whole life eating nuts and be absolutely fine. Thanks, James. I will be calling the police, however, to arrest you instantly. Next up, a Skinfluencer who is everywhere. all over every social media platform, but I particularly like her on Twitter. I like a lot of her retweets and her replies to tweets, and she speaks out on a lot of skincare shit as well, which I really, really enjoy. She makes some amazing written like infographics covering so many different things. She talks about skincare, politics often as well, and also just looking at her style. She is very nice to look at in general, so I really, really enjoy her content. But also going back to her Twitter, she also kind of makes me think about a lot of stuff that I haven't really thought about before. You know, kind of think about certain ingredients or like the way certain brands talk about things. You know, her tweets always make me think, oh yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah, I agree. And that is Hajar, Honey Jar Hajar over on Instagram. Oh, again, I'll link everything down below. But as I mentioned, her hot takes always give me a hot take. So I had to hear her unpopular opinion. Let's see what she has to say.
Hi everyone. Hi James. My name is Hajar, aka Honey Jar Hajar on all social media platforms, and my controversial skincare take is that other than a cleanser, moisturizer, and sunscreen, all you need is, I'm coming close, all you need is a toner. Toners are super, super versatile, and if you're someone that doesn't have the time or the money to use other hydrating skincare products like serums and whatnot, all you need is a toner. And if you want to up your toner game, you just need one hydrating one. Don't use an exfoliating one, just one hydrating one, and layer it onto your skin. So use like cleanse your skin, tone, wait a minute or two, tone again, wait a minute or two, tone again. And you know that glow that you get from like whenever you wear sheet masks, you're going to get that glow and like possibly even more. And then if you're someone who uses other serums, tone, serum, so on and so forth. Always seal in with a moisturizer at night and a sunscreen in the morning. And I promise you, it's going to be the best thing that you've ever done for your skin. So if you just don't have the time, don't have the money for other serums and whatnot, just use a toner, especially those nice thick toners. Delicious. And don't say, I've never done anything for you.
Listen, I agree. Listen, people shit all over toners and I don't get it. And I think it's because toners are what really changed my skin for me. Toners then moving into essences, because they were two new things for me. I'm a millennial, mid-millennial. So skincare for me was clean and clear, stripping, astringent toners, St. Ives apricot scrub to exfoliate. So all these like actual toning toners, hydrating toners were completely new. And here's the thing is we are constantly told the importance of hydration and how good it is for your skin, and everyone agrees, dermatologists, chemists, scientists, everyone agrees hydration is important for the general functionality of your skin. Nothing is gonna hydrate your skin more than a hydrating toner, a product whose job it is to purposely hydrate your skin more. You're gonna get hyaluronic acid, you're gonna get like glycerin, you're gonna get hydrating ingredients, you're gonna get other hydrating ingredients in your moisturizers, you'll get in some serums, but it's not the same effect. It will not give you the same plumpiness to your skin, the dewiness, if you like that, the sheer purposeful delivery of hydration to your skin. Hajar also says that, you know, instead of the serum, you might want a toner instead. And that's probably because toners nowadays are verging on the essence side, and essences are verging on the serum side. In fact, in some countries, essence and serums are interchangeable. Toners nowadays, even not the exfoliating ones, are packed with niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, azelaic acid. You know, you're going to find actives in a lot of toners at a fraction of the price of a serum. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that they've got less of that active in. We also know the higher the active doesn't necessarily mean the better. I just feel like toner, if you're looking to take your skincare to the next step and really give your skin that extra oomph, that extra look of good, healthy skin, toners are great for that. They're really going to give you that next step of hydration that other products aren't going to give you. I agree. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's look at some TikTok ones. And again, I found these because I just became obsessed with seeing other people's unpopular opinion. So let's look at this one.
Unpopular opinion time. This is seriously one of my favorite things to film, is things I think are going to be unpopular. Call me a rebel. I'm tired of everything in the skincare realm and makeup being about dewy. Dewy this, dewy that. All I'm seeing is greasy this, greasy that. I get like wanting the glow, but for those of us with combo skin that is about to turn into extremely oily skin in the summer, No. I want to see lightweight gel moisturizers, not shea butters. Especially because powder makes aging skin look terrible. So if you want to take down some of that glow, you're screwed. Oh, and did I mention that setting sprays all have alcohol and fragrance in them? Yes. Anyway, not serious, but I'm just saying.
Right, I agree and disagree. Okay, so alcohol and fragrance, not a deal, especially in setting sprays where it's not even really, not directly applying to the skin. Alcohol is going to mainly evaporate off. It's more of a delivery system. Fragrance, I'm not bothered with that, but some people hate it. I personally wouldn't like fragrance in a setting spray because you're spraying it and then it's like you're like breathing it all in. I bet it's fucking horrible. She is so right. There is a real fine line between dewy and greasy, and I feel like that's where, honestly, the industry has kind of got it muddled up. Dewy is about the hydration of your skin. It's about having a natural glow, whereas greasy is about the oils, it's about the occlusives. It's kind of how we want to look going to bed, not waking up, walking around during the day. And that's where the very fine line is, because as someone with combination skin as well, a very, very oily T-zone, if someone advertises a product to me as dewy, it better not be thick. It better not be occlusive-y. It needs to be lightweight gel creams, lightweight serums, hydrating products, because heavily moisturized, greasy and oily is not dewy. And there are some products that overstep that line, and it's a very, very fine line. But I also will say that the trend started because hydrated skin is dewy skin and hydrated skin is healthy skin. But it did become a big trend to the point where people weren't actually focusing on that and kind of concentrating more on the look of what dewy skin looks like, which is a like kind of that glass skin, dewy skin look. Therefore, they were just creating products with occlusives that look greasy on the skin. It is, however, a trend that we can take something good for our skin from, and it's a trend that kind of came from Korea, as most trends do, but we are always like one or two or 5 steps behind. So matte skin was a trend maybe like last year or the year before in Korea, so I'm pretty sure it'll be coming over here soon. But yeah, I agree with her and disagree with her, but I also agree with her because I feel like the industry has changed what dewy skin is meant to be and used that attention grabbing name just to create some temporary products that give you dewy looking skin,
Here are my 3 unpopular skincare opinions. 1, you don't need a hyaluronic acid serum. Instead, invest in a multi-purpose serum, and they often contain hyaluronic acid or some sort of hydrating ingredient anyways. 2, you don't need to be using a harsh and foamy cleanser even if you have oily skin. That will just dry out your skin over time and compromise your moisture barrier, so try a non-foaming gel cleanser instead. Because I have dry skin, I stopped cleansing in the morning and only use lukewarm water. 3, sleeping masks are just overpriced moisturizers, but I will repurchase these forever. What I do now is replace my PM moisturizer with one of these sleeping masks, and it's chef's kiss. Let me know what you think and if you have any other unpopular opinions.
Okay, so let's go step by step with these ones because the majority of these I actually agree with. You don't need a hyaluronic acid serum, 100% agree. Even before hyaluronic acid became a huge thing, hyaluronic acid was in everything anyway, and it still is even more so in everything, and all of its brothers and sisters, sodium hyaluronate, etc, it is everywhere. But also, if you've got glycerin, I personally feel glycerin is a more superior hydrating ingredient. I've used hydrating products without sodium hyaluronate in, hyaluronic acid, the most popular ones, and it's just had glycerin and it's been incredible, even more so than like a 5 molecular weight hyaluronic acid serum, but it is everywhere. Sometimes even the same with niacinamide because, again, it's in absolutely everything, and in very good percentages as well. So you don't necessarily need a dedicated niacinamide serum. So 100% agree. And you also get them, like she showed, in really, really nice combination serums. I think what The Ordinary taught us was what ingredients are, but it also kind of made us feel like we need one of everything, like a dedicated serum for that dedicated ingredient. And you don't. Hyaluronic acid are in some amazing multi-benefit serums. 2, you don't need a harsh foaming cleanser even if you have oily skin. Very, very true. Bear in mind, foaming cleansers doesn't always equal harsh. Cleansers can foam a lot and be very, very gentle still. But yes, going back to my teenage self, I thought the drier I felt, the tighter my skin felt, the harsher I scrubbed at my skin, the less oily my skin would be, when really I was damaging my skin barrier, stripping my skin of all moisture and hydration, which in turn my skin just hated, and I get breakouts, I get oily, I get itchy and irritated. But luckily nowadays, cleansers aren't like this. You can get some really nice cleansers that foam, pH balance. All cleansers are pH balance really nowadays. They kind of have to be. But yeah, we're in a very good position where a lot of cleansers are made to this standard nowadays, because that's what we expect from cleansers. 3, sleeping masks are just overpriced moisturizers. I agree and disagree. This is kind of the eye creams are just overpriced moisturizer argument. It completely depends on what kind of moisturizer you're using and what your skin type is, or what your skin condition is. For example, as someone with an oily T-zone, I will not be using what is labeled as a sleeping mask in the morning versus at night. And that's really all sleeping masks are. They are sleeping masks with ingredients that tend to kind of like, some of them have actives in for the evening, some of them overnight exfoliate, but really they're just really occlusive, maybe thicker moisturizers that kind of help trap everything in. And that's all really it is. Yes, you can get daytime moisturizers like that. I can't use them interchangeably. It's like eye creams and moisturizers. There are particular ingredients that work better under the eyes, on the skin under the eyes, than there are in moisturizers, all that kind of stuff. It's funny because the 2 examples that she shows, the sleeping mask, she's going to like, and their sleeping mask, because of their occlusivity. She says, what I do now is replace my PM moisturizers with one of these sleeping masks. So she does use sleeping masks.
Replace my PM moisturizer with one of these sleeping masks.
Does use sleeping masks, or does she mean that she just use, I don't know, but basically, sleeping masks I think are sleeping masks for a reason, but they are just overly occlusive moisturizers that they then do hike up the price on, so you don't always have to look. So it's more about the occlusive ingredients than what time of day they say you can use the moisturizer. This is just her applying a product with the unpopular opinions over it. So let's see what she has to say. You don't have to be 30 to start a retinoid. No, retinoids can be used for acne, can be used for many other things. But I think that's been preached over and over. Sometimes your bed sheets can be the cause of your acne, dirty pillows, if you use oils at night, if you use heavy occlusive sleeping masks, you might want to rotate your pillowcases more often. Again, something I feel like we all know. Your diet directly impacts your skin. Many skin issues can be helped by repairing your skin barrier. Yes, and I feel like, even though that sounds very simple, I feel like that's really only something people have learned within the last 3 years. Like, I don't think people even knew what a skin barrier was, like way back when. You don't need to use a harsh foaming cleanser, even if you have oily skin. This one's repeated a lot at the moment. It's important to have no makeup day to let your skin breathe. Skin doesn't breathe, basically, but there can be some irritating ingredients in makeup for some people, maybe sometimes. People often cite silicones as the issue in makeup that causes irritation and clogs your pores and doesn't let your skin breathe. But really, a lot of them are actually penetratable and you can breathe through. So no, you don't need to let your skin breathe. It's nice to have no makeup days, so you don't have to do kind of like a harsher cleanse at the end of the day and like scrub and all that kind of stuff, or but it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. Okay, one more. Let's go.
Unpopular skincare opinion: physical scrubs aren't too bad. Here's why. Physical scrubs get a bad name in the skincare industry because of mainly Exhibit A and B. Now, these physical scrubs contain walnut shells and, in some instances, plastic to cause the physical exfoliation, which over time causes micro tears in the skin, traumatizing the skin and worsening of skin conditions. Alternatively, there are some physical scrubs that have skin benefits, such as for mature skin to increase that skin cell turnover, and also textured skin. They can be beneficial to use every now and again, not every day. Ingredients to look for in good physical scrubs are jojoba beads. These are spherical and they're not going to traumatize the skin. Another really gentle physical exfoliant would be cellulose. And here are some of my favourites.
Okay, we'll stop it there. Isn't her voice calming and relaxing? So, I do agree with this, to be honest with you. Every so often, I love a good physical scrub, especially if my skin is feeling particularly textured. When it comes to the micro tears, I have a whole video about St. Ives, the lawsuit, the micro tear lawsuit. And to cut a very long story short, there is no evidence that physical scrubs cause micro tears, or even that micro tears are a thing. So it's kind of a myth that's been passed down, and you hear this whole like micro tear lawsuit. There's no evidence of micro tears anywhere. But what I think the issue personally with these physical scrubs is having to physically scrub does make people think they need to scrub and scrub hard, and you find yourself pushing these beads down on your skin. Plastic beads are actually banned here in Europe. So I don't know if they are in America, but any kind of plastic within skincare, like physical plastic, is banned. But yeah, there are some really, really nice alternatives. But yeah, physical scrubs aren't as bad as they're made out to be, as long as you're being careful with them. You're not scrubbing at your skin, you're not overdoing the exfoliation. And that's another reason why I think they get bad name, because people use St. Ives daily, because not a lot of people who aren't into skincare get the difference between exfoliant and a face wash. And that's something I get in the comments all the time. People asking what's the difference, and one is an exfoliant, one is a face wash, and one you can overdo and one you should be using daily. So yeah, it's a very it's controversial, and I get why, but there isn't a lot of truth behind the actual reasons why it's bad for your skin. But let me know if you agree with any of these unpopular opinions. Every creator who I featured in today's video, thank you so much for sending me your videos, by the way. I know you were all so busy, and all their information, all their socials, everything will be in the description box down below. You can watch some more product reviews here, some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.